holding off this attack with just these roaches. He did not have a whole lot of speedlings in the mix, but since those force fields were not quite placed properly, it looks like he is going to be able to push him back with just these roaches. And you can see with that extra range that you have from the roaches now, with that recent patch that Blizzard released, it is a lot easier to deal with stalkers. The stalkers cannot kite nearly as effectively as they used to be able to. And the Phoenix, once again, going to move in here, check out the situation. Khan putting down his hatchery again, and it looks like Gemini has not put down his Nexus at his third base yet, although, yeah, we just saw the ghost image go up there. Getting ready to go down there and expand right now. And it looks like if we take a look at the units right now, we can see that the army size for our Zerg player is very, very heavily based on roaches. And immediately the counter that Gemini defaults to is going to be Immortals. Immortals are so strong against roaches. He does still have 16 Stalkers as well and 5 Zealots. So those Stalkers and Zealots going to be able to absorb a ton of damage while the Immortals really deal the punches. And it looks like a bunch of Overlords going to be taken down here. This is exactly what Gemini needs to be doing with these Phoenix. And I'm not sure why we haven't seen Khan really do anything to handle this, but it looks like Khan going to try to move up in here, and this may be a bit of a blunder moving in. There's a lot to defend this, and of course with one Immortal back there protected by everything. Here comes the second one as well, and another round of Stalkers warping in here, and even Void Ray is getting into the mix now. Although these roaches are doing quite a lot of damage against this Protoss army, they are not going to be any match for that Void Ray, especially because they cannot attack air. So yeah, Void Rays versus roaches, pretty good. But anyways, we do see the expansion is up and running at the gold base now, so it looks like Khan going to be getting that up and running. And if we take a look at the income once again, we can see that he is still behind in the harvester count, but his mineral income is much higher for some reason. It looks like Gemini may be a little bit oversaturated for the two bases, although this will allow him to transfer a bunch of probes to this expansion, which is now finished and he has not yet transferred. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but it looks like he is taking probes down from his main as well, going to be moving them to that new expansion. Oh my goodness, and excuse me, my throat all of a sudden just got really, really dry. But anyways, it looks like Gemini also going to be moving out, taking down the destructible rocks at the gold expansion on his own side, so possibly going to be going for a pretty quick fourth here, maybe even ahead of our Zerg player Khan, as he is moving out on the map rather quickly here and going to be moving over here with an observer. That observer able to spot those creep tumors, so he is going to push back the creep of our Zerg player here. Very, very good play by Gemini. That cuts down on the mobility and the vision that the Zerg player has on the map, so that is definitely something that you want to try to do if you can. And our Zerg player Khan still going mass roaches, despite the fact that he has revealed a lot of roaches to his Protoss opponent, and he now has Void Rays and Immortals to counter it. So we'll see if he's able, although there are a couple of Hydralisks in the mix here and moving the Spine Crawlers up, but I don't know if those two Hydralisks are going to be enough because there are two Void Rays in this mix, and two Void Rays can very, very easily take on two Hydras. The only way I can see this not working for Gemini is if somehow he is able to not get those Hydralisks focus fired down by those Void Rays or any of the other units in this Protoss mix, and just let those Hydralisks go to work on the Void Rays. But I don't think that that's going to happen because we have a very, very one-sided game right now as far as the unit composition, because those roaches just cannot deal any damage to the air. And I apologize if you heard my phone there a second ago. I actually am getting a call from Elisa, a fellow caster. We are about to do some dual casts, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Those are going to be going up on his channel, so very excited to do that. It's been a while since I've casted something with him. He has been hard at work getting a lot better at 1v1, and he is a stellar 1v1 player, I must say. He's a lot of fun to watch these days because he has gotten very, very good, and he even keeps up with the likes of Broken Rhythm, which if you guys are familiar with him, he is a top-notch player. In the last top 200 that Blizzard released, he was actually number 15 on that list, so yeah, he's pretty good. But we do see, sorry, getting back to the game at hand here, there is a big, big group of roaches with those two lone Hydralisks still in the mix here, coming back, going to do some offensive, taking down, forcing Gemini to cancel that expansion at the gold immediately, and it looks like he is not going to be able to take everything out here because, of course, there are 3 Void Rays overhead. Actually, I'm sorry, 4 Void Rays. It's kind of hard to tell how many there are there exactly with all these units, and he is going to clean up this ground force with absolutely no problem, but he has nothing to deal with these air units anymore. The Hydralisk's already gone, and the Roach is once again going to be forced to retreat, although he is keeping 2 of them after that Colossus, managing to take that down. And if he does not get an answer for these Void Rays really soon, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Managing to get his 4th base up before Gemini. It's not saturated, and actually looking at the base, he has not even taken down the destructible rocks here, which means that it's going to be very difficult for him to defend this if his army is on this side of the destructible rocks. If he keeps it up around this gold base, it's not as big of a deal to get around through this front ramp, but coming from this back ramp can be quite difficult, so he definitely needs to make sure he takes those down sooner than later if he wants to be able to move back and forth there relatively easily. But he is now mining pretty solidly at the high yield base here. Oh, and these Phoenix coming in for a little bit more harass. But one of them, 2 of them going down, 3 of them, oh, all 4 of them going down. So managing to take down all of those smartly, our Zerg players finally getting some Hydralisks in the mix. And those are really going to deal a ton of damage, especially with that huge force of roaches in the front. Although not as many roaches at this point as we have seen in previous spots. So he is going to need to be careful with those Hydralisks because he needs those to deal damage to those Void Rays. Otherwise, he is not going to have anything to take them on. And it looks like he is going to have to retreat as this Stalker Void Ray army managed to take down all of those roaches without any problems really at all. And it looks like we have him, Khan is saturating his 4th base now. So going to be getting that up and running just a little bit sooner than Gemini. But Gemini just now getting 1 probe over there, transferring a couple more from his 3rd base, and even getting some more from his natural that he initially took. But if we take a look at the production menu here now, we can see there are 11 more roaches building and 4 Dark Templars. And I don't know if we have any... Oh my goodness, actually we are going to see a Nidus Worm building in the back, although it looks like Gemini does see it right now. He is warping in some units, trying to come over here and defend that. And yeah, even if that Nidus Worm gets up, yeah, nothing is going to be able to come out of it before it gets taken down. So good reaction there by Gemini. I would have liked to see him possibly try to sneak it up in this corner, take out some production buildings, some tech buildings maybe. Although he did manage to pull Gemini's army out of place, and it looks like he's going to be able to get the Nexus at the high yield base here really quickly, and he just takes that base out and immediately retreats. Although here come the DTs, and I do not believe there's any detection on the map for a Zerg player right now. Yeah, if we look at the units overlay, we can see that there are 28 Overlords, 0 Overseers, so that is going to be a huge problem. He does have some Spore Crawlers on the map, but Spore Crawlers, of course, not nearly as mobile as the Overseers, obviously. So that is going to be very, very difficult for him to deal with those DTs until he gets some Overseers out. And I'm not even sure if he's actually aware that they're on the map yet. If we take a look at the base, yeah, he's not. He does actually see the Dark Shrine, but I don't know why he has not built any Overseers yet. As we can see, these DTs on the front line here, there are 6 of them now just doing a ton of damage, and they are going to absolutely walk through this Roach Hydra army. So it looks like we are probably going to see GG here, as that was a massive loss for our Zerg player. Gemini now pushing into the front, taking down the spine crawlers that were defending the front entrance here, and these roaches trying frantically to take down as many units as they can. That spore crawler there finally allowing him to deal the damage he needs to those DTs, taking out the DTs, and there's only 1 DT on the map still, sneaking in the back here, and he manages to push Gemini back once again. Although Gemini, with all those Void Rays, I don't know that he really needs to be worried, because there is, I see, let's see here, 1 Queen and 2 Spore Crawlers here, and that's it. So other than that, yeah, there's not really any anti-air here, and if he takes out this gold base, that is a huge win, and it looks like Gemini may have realized that as he's moving in right now, taking on this army once again, and a huge battle here. Even the Overlords getting in the mix here, trying to block as much as they can. The Stalkers doing a ton of damage, taking and also soaking up a lot of damage from the roaches, while these Void Rays just pound away at everything. And here comes a couple more DTs from the back. Zealots coming up as well. No charge for the Zealots yet, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter, because these Void Rays have absolutely nothing to worry about, with very, very limited anti-air capabilities from our Zerg player right now. And at this point, I got to think that Khan is thinking he's going to have to GG any second. His production is much, much slower than Gemini's at this point. He cannot get up enough anti-air to deal with this number of Void Rays, and there are a lot more units continuing to stream in from Gemini. Gemini keeping up with his Warp Gate macro very, very well, as we can see here, just constantly streaming in more and more units, and it looks like that base is going to go down very easily at this point, and he's going to continue to move in, although we do see Ultras out on the map for Khan now, and Khan apparently going to leave the game. No GG, which is unfortunate, but Gemini played very well, and Khan definitely put up a solid fight. I definitely would have liked to see him get those Hydras in the mix a little bit earlier. If he would have taken down those Void Rays before too many of them really got in the mix, I think he would have been in a lot better shape. And of course, not building any Overseers when he saw the Dark Shrine was a huge, huge mistake. We saw how much damage that dealt, and it took out a ton of roaches before the main battle happened, which really allowed Gemini to walk over Khan's main base. But anyways, thanks for watching this game, guys. Like I said, I've got a couple of games that I'm planned out for the next week here, which are some of the more unsung heroes that are pretty good at StarCraft 2. So you may not recognize as many of the names, but these games are very, very exciting to watch. I've already checked a few of them out, and I'm excited about casting them and getting them up. So definitely submit your Wacky Wednesday replays to akaya.scbg@gmail.com. And if you have any questions about what this coming week's Wacky Wednesday is, check out Wacky Wednesday number 4. I lay it out for you at the end of the Wacky Wednesday number 4, so you can get the details there. And of course, if you guys are looking for an easy way to keep up with me other than having to keep track of the YouTube channel in and of itself, you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Facebook. I've got links to both of those in my main profile, and I'm also going to be putting them in the description for this video as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. GG.